I can still greet everyone a Happy New Year, right? It's still January. Hello, and I hope 2025 has been kind to you so far. In this video, I am sharing 5 life tips that I continue to live by for a happier and fuller 2025. And I hope you find value in this video and that we learn a thing or two as I have for the last 5 years. Number 1, choose happiness. Happiness is a choice. It is not something you find suddenly yourself in. In the book Clear Thinking, The Art and Science of Making Better Decisions, the author Shane Parrish talked about interviewing a gerontologist, Carl Pillemer, who wrote, "Happiness is not a passive condition dependent on external events, nor is it the result of our personalities. Instead, happiness requires a conscious shift in outlook, in which one chooses daily optimism over pessimism and hope over despair." Well, no life is perfect or free from troubles and worries, despite what people may choose to share or let you see in their digital lives, especially in social media. Be troubled, fine. Worry, of course. But instead of wallowing in your despair, find a way out of it. Try and find a solution. That's what I do. And if there is none, then let it be. You can't solve all the world's problems. And you're not here to solve all the world's problems. My life certainly is not perfect, far from it. I've made many a wrong decision, many a wrong choice. I have my own crosses to bear, issues that test my mettle, my resilience, every day, in fact. But I choose to be happy in spite of it. Number 2, aim to always do the right thing. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "No soul forfeits truth willfully." And the same holds good for justice, self-control, kindliness, or any other virtue. Aiming to do the right thing is not always easy. I once worked with a nurse manager who, upon learning that one of our male colleagues said something that was inherently racist and derogatory to an overseas nurse, the nurse manager picked up that phone that same morning and told the offender not to bother coming into work, arranged his representation, and was immediately suspended pending investigations into what he said. I never saw that male colleague at work ever again. He was funny. He was a popular colleague. And some of my co-workers wondered what happened, not necessarily agreeing to the weight of his punishment, but it all served a lesson to those that saw it. I am still in touch with that former manager. She will always have my endless respect. Doing the right thing at all times is not easy. It also requires arduous, conscious thought, and sometimes may even be costly. It is not easy, but as my father used to say, aim for the sun and you may be lucky to hit the moon. Aim for 100%, but be thankful if you even get it right half the time. Number 3, not caring what people think or not caring about impressing others. I once read somewhere that we buy things we do not need with money we do not have to impress people we don't even like. I've also heard the radio presenter Chris Evans repeatedly say on his morning show, "Those who matter don't mind, and those that mind don't matter." You know that the people who care about you, that love you the most, they do not care what clothes you wear or what car you drive. They do not give a damn about how many bedrooms your house has. Learning to live within your means is a lesson I wished I learned early in my life, but as they say, it's never too late. Pursue your passion by all means, and some passions and endeavors can be expensive. Go and get that guitar. Life is short after all. But just don't get too much into debt doing it. Do not get a $2,000 bag with your credit card just so you can show it off at the next party. You probably cannot afford that BMW without doing too much overtime. Some of the consultants and doctors I work with, They drive old, mundane, vanilla cars and they couldn't care less. So I will aim to continue to think and live this way and be happy in whatever it is I have. Thankful even. Grateful, in fact. Couldn't give a damn if it impresses you or not. Or as the country rock band Zac Brown once sang from the song Homegrown, I've got everything I need and nothing that I don't. Number 4, training my brain. Now this takes some doing. I sometimes think of some of the worst things that can happen to me and say to myself, can I handle that? And then I answer myself, yes, you can. Why am I so confident? Because I continue to train my brain to think so. I tell myself so. No one knows for sure. I might not even be okay when these bad things actually happen, but at least I'm preparing my mind for it. Seneca, the Roman philosopher, once wrote, "For the mind is more powerful than every act of fortune. By itself, the mind guides its affairs one way or the other, and is the cause of a happy or unhappy life for itself. A bad mind turns everything into bad, even things that have arrived looking excellent. A mind that is upright and sound corrects fortune's wrongs, softens its hardness and roughness with the knowledge of how to endure, receives prosperity with gratitude and moderation, and shows firmness and fortitude in face of adversity." In my day-to-day dealings, I hear about a lot of people experiencing anxiety and overwhelming stress, that they turn out sick or claim to be sick and unwell from all of it. While I acknowledge that there are some genuine cases, and I really hope that they get the help they require, I also think that too much has been made of recognizing and acknowledging your negative thoughts and emotions, that wallowing in it is acceptable and sometimes even popular. I just don't want to be in that group. I choose not to be in that group. It was also Seneca who said, "Let us prepare our minds as if we had come to the very end of life. This way, nothing will rattle you, as if nothing else matters, because death is dawning." I will continue to train my brain, and I hope you do so too, to steel it against some of the most challenging situations one can imagine. And I know that it will only help me, and hopefully you, in the long run. Number 5, listening and not having an opinion all the time, and only giving advice when asked. It was the famous TV host / author Larry King who once said, "I remind myself every morning, nothing I say this day will teach me anything. So if I'm going to learn, I must do it by listening." And by that, I mean listening without the intent to respond, listening without judgment, listening with kindness and consideration. Explore maybe, a follow-up question perhaps, but listening in its truest form. Listening allows me to learn a lot about the other person, their experiences, their journey, in the hope that I'd learn a thing or two from them. And if they ask me for advice, I give it, but only if they ask me. Listening too allows me to get all the facts and information I need to get to an informed decision. It allows me that when it comes to passing good judgment, that I have, through listening, given myself the best chance of arriving at the desired income. Obviously, it's not always perfect. It's not always the right decision. I've made mistakes, as I've said, but at least I have the best information I could get. Shane Parrish, the best-selling author, wrote, "Good judgment is expensive, but poor judgment will cost you a fortune. Just ask the divorce lawyers." There you go. These 5 life tips I will continue to live by for a happier 2025. Hopefully, we've both learned a thing or two in this video. And if you like what you've heard here, consider subscribing to our channel and help us grow. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.